I'm calling on you if you're cooking on a tight budget. Are you getting bored cooking with rice? Hey, what's clucking, peeps? I'm Georgiana, and welcome to Hairy Tail Farm. And this hairy chicken with us today is Blanche. Say hi, Blanche. We have 3 international rice dishes today that are going to beat that boredom away and help you stretch that dollar. And stick with me because I have important information about rice that you're going to want to know. But let's get cooking first. Okay, today we're going to make Arroz Poblano, and that's just basically poblano peppers with rice. We've got this bag. We're going to start with a couple of these. And the first step is we want to get the skin charred and take it off. So I've got a few on a cookie sheet here with some foil, and we're going to put this in the broiler for a few minutes till it gets all charred. And then I'll put it in a plastic baggie to let it steam, and it helps the skin come off faster. Alrighty, I've added 2 tablespoons of butter to the pan over medium heat. And we're going to saute some of the white parts of 3 scallions, green onions. Get those going for a bit. Oops, over. And we'll add in some garlic, as much as you like. A little or a lot. I kind of like a lot. Now I'm going to add in about half of 2 of the poblano peppers, a little more than half. The rest we're going to garnish on top. And some of this we want to just cook in with the rice and really flavor it good while it's cooking. I've got a cup of white rice that I've already washed. I'm going to saute this a little bit before we add our liquid. Okay, to this we're going to add a cup of vegetable broth. You could use chicken stock, chicken broth. If you didn't have any, you could just use water. And then a cup of milk. I'm using soy milk. You can use whichever milk you prefer. I don't think anything like an almond milk or an oat milk. Those are too weak. I try to save my dairy because it adds inflammation. I've got allergies and asthma. My sinuses are always an issue, and dairy affects that some. So I save it for cheese and yogurt and stuff like that. Or if the occasional time I have ice cream and I splurge and I'm having ice cream. About 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And some pepper. Give that one more stir. And we're just going to cover this and let it cook for 20 minutes. Oops, a little overboard there. And get all ready. There's my lid. Okay, and here it is all finished up, served up in a bowl. I put the extra poblano peppers on top and some of the green onions as a garnish also. There you go. Creamy and delicious. All right, this next rice recipe is called jollof rice. It is a Western African rice. I believe originating out of Nigeria, and it's a very flavorful, a bit more of a slow-cooked rice, but I'm going to be taking some shortcuts. It's made with tomatoes and roasted peppers, and I'm going to be using tomato roasted red pepper soup to save us time. It's one that gets cooked down. Red peppers are quite expensive right now. So I had this in the pantry. This is going to work. We're going to use some tomato paste. Has a lot of flavor and seasonings to it. We've got some olive oil or vegetable oil of your choice, garlic, ginger, tomato paste, bouillon of your choice, onion, tomato, again, red pepper, doesn't have to be roasted. I'm going to be using the soup. We've got oregano, thyme. I'm going to skip this guy for a second. Paprika, garlic, curry powder, black pepper, and bay leaves. This, for me, this recipe originally uses like habanero peppers, Scotch bonnet peppers, and I'm like, no, I can't handle that much heat. And I bet there's quite a few of you out there that might not like heat either. But you can ramp it up with the heat. That's what's traditional. If you like it, put it in. I don't even think I could get those peppers at my Walmart. So, not that I wanted to. So, I don't even usually like red pepper flakes. This is these red chili flakes. It's a Korean brand. And look at, they're little. I feel like I've got more control over the pepper and the heat and where it goes. So it's not going to be as spicy. That's my version. These guys I'm going to chop up here in a second, and they will get blended in my blender. Traditionally, that's what's done. Tomatoes, the hot peppers, the red peppers, and onion get blended into a thick paste and cooked down. So I'll show you the whole process, but let's move on to the next step. Okay, we're going to start off with 1/3 of a cup of olive oil. All the recipes I found online took 1/2 cup of oil, and you can use whatever vegetable oil you have. But I wanted to reduce the fat a little bit. This is obviously going to make it very flavorful. So I reduced it to 1/3 of a cup. We'll see how this should still work out great. And then that onion I had, half of it is going to get blended. The other half is finely diced. And we'll get that sauteing in here to start with. Alrighty. Our onions have been cooking for a few minutes and they're getting soft. Next, we're going to add tomato paste. About 3 tablespoons. And we've got to let this cook down. We want to fry this tomato paste a bit. So we're going to let this cook in for a bit. Okay, our tomatoes and onions have been frying for about another 5 minutes. The tomato paste has gotten a little bit darker, but you still stir it frequently so it doesn't burn or anything. I've got my temperature over like medium to medium high heat. And now we're going to start adding our seasonings so that those flavors can bloom. I've got our garlic, and I'm going to be a little heavy-handed on the garlic. You can use as much or as little as you want. Again, it's supposed to be very flavorful. Love garlic. You can use ginger powder, fresh ginger, or I've got this ginger paste. And it's about a tablespoon of ginger. And some bouillon. You can use dried bouillon cubes. I like this better than bouillon. You can do chicken. I've got chicken, but if you want a vegetarian, you can use a vegetable bouillon. I like that this doesn't have MSG in it. I get headaches easily from that, so. And you're adding about 3 tablespoons worth. We've got oregano. There's going to be about a teaspoon worth here. Thyme. A teaspoon. Curry powder. Again, about a teaspoon. Paprika. Not all of them call for paprika, but this is going to add some smokiness. It's supposed to be quite a smoky recipe. Oh, I should take this guy off. There we go. There we go. And about a tablespoon of garlic salt. You can use just salt But you know, everybody knows this is my favorite by now. Or if you're new here, it's my favorite. Oh, my pepper's breaking. There we go. Some pepper. And a little bit of my red chili pepper. I'm not going to have too much. This stuff isn't as hot. Let's give this a good stir. Turn my heat down a little. So yeah, just turn the heat down a little bit. You don't want the garlic to burn, but it's well coated in the oil and the tomato paste. And it's going to be dark and rich and flavorful. Alrighty. Now this is my tomato and onion. I put a little bit of water in there. That's the blended version. This is the part that also gets just really cooked down before we even add the rice. We're developing a sauce. And then I'm also going to add my soup base. I got this at Trader Joe's. You know, I don't even know, checking regular grocery stores if they have like a tomato roasted pepper soup. If that's an option. I shook the container first. So we're going to put in 2 cups of this. I'm actually going to do 1.5 cups because I had the other tomato onion blend. And then this next step, from every recipe I read about and watched, is they really let cook down for like 10-15 minutes. You want the sauce to get really thick, so I'm going to leave the lid off so a lot of the water evaporates out, the liquids evaporate out. Oh, and I almost forgot 2 bay leaves. So yeah, a couple bay leaves in there. Okay, so we'll let this go. Let this simmer down for a bit. Alrighty, it's been 25 minutes. Let's give it a stir. It looks like I do not need more water. Okay, I'm going to cover it and cook it some more. This is varied. I've heard some people say 10 minutes, some say 20, so I'm just going to check it. I turned the heat down a little to low because it's still boiling pretty high. I don't want the bottom to burn. Okay, so we'll check back. This was very flavorful and delicious. This turned out to be a creamier version of the jollof rice compared to the traditional, but I really enjoyed it. And it also had fun then making rice cakes afterwards. Those were even extra fun. Give those a try for sure. Okay, for this rice recipe, we're going to travel to Greece. This is going to be yummy and fun. And being this time of year, it's the middle of January. I really wish I was in Greece, but we'll just have to pretend with this rice dish. So here are the ingredients we're going to need. I've got jasmine rice, or pick a rice of your choice, garlic. I'm taking my cheat with the seasoning blend of the onions and peppers and celery. Lemon juice. Sorry, I don't have fresh lemon. That would be best. Use some lemon juice and some lemon zest, but I always have this on standby. Olive oil, fresh spinach, feta cheese, bay leaves, and a tomato for extra garnish at the end. And there'll be some other, might be some other spices in there. But let's go ahead and get started with this one. Okay, my blender, I'm going to start with 1/2 cup of onions. Or so. A little bit of garlic. It's about 2 teaspoons. couple handfuls of spinach. Into this, I'm going to add a little bit of water, about a cup, and we're going to make a spinach broth to cook the rice in. And here's today's rice tip. Last year, the Economic Research Service of the United States Department of Agriculture predicted that prices would increase by 5.8%. In January, at-home food prices were 11.3% higher than they were at the same time in 2022. But in 2024, prices are still set to increase, but thankfully at a slower rate. The ERS predicts a 2.9% increase in food prices overall, and only a 1.9% increase for at-home food prices. Not much of a relief, but we could use a little relief. So food away from home or food purchased at restaurants or for takeout are set to increase by 4.3%. So us cooking from home is still one of the best options. So U.S. rice prices, though, are predicted to come down in 2024. So this is a good time to stock back up on rice because the weather is also unpredictable. For instance, California has had a low snow amount so far this year. Some are predicting a dry spring during planting season in California, which affects their production and prices overall for rice in the United States, even though we get like rice from Arkansas, Texas, Louisiana, etc. But California is one of the major players. So I think it's a good time to stockpile a little bit on your basics when the prices are at their best for the past couple years. Because some of us, I think, have gotten depleted where we're on such a tight budget, we're just like getting a little bag here or there. But try to get double at least what you get. If you normally buy a 1 pound bag, try to get a 2 pound bag. Or if you normally get 2 pounds, try to get 5 to 10. I've got a 25 pound bag of our favorite rice. And a key thing too, when you are stocking anything, try to be able to pack it, if possible, in an airtight container, protect it from moisture and rodents. Of course, I'm talking farm life here, so we're constantly trying to guard off from mice. But thankfully, the cats are doing a really good job this year. Thank you, guys. This Greek rice dish turned out delicious. My sister and I loved it. Hope you give it a try. The recipe will be in the description box below. Well, thanks for watching with us today. I hope some of these recipes were inspirational. And let me know in the comments which one you like best, because there are some more rice recipes around the world I'd like to share. And remember, keep crowing and keep growing.